This is the first guy you've liked in a long time. It's exciting to have a crush, but you realize you're probably a little too obsessed with someone you barely know. While you're still going to stalk him on social media and check your phone incessantly to see when he texts you again, you also need to do something healthy so this obsession doesn't take over your life. In this short podcast, I'm going to give you a framework to relax, keep your perspective, and stop obsessing about the new guy. Stick around. I'm Marc, Katz, dating coach for smart, strong, successful women, your personal trainer for love. Welcome to the Love You podcast. Keep listening to learn 4 simple tips to stop obsessing over your crush. When we're done, I'll let you know how you could apply to Love You to create a passionate relationship where you feel safe, heard, and understood. So these are 4 tips. There's probably more if you really get right down to it. The entire first month of my Love You course is on confidence. That month has probably 50 videos in it, so just take these 4 with a grain of salt, knowing that there's more to being a confident person than what we could give in 4 tips. But here's 4 starters that are really going to make a difference for you in terms of staying self-possessed when you're starting to lose your cool. Number 1, date other men actively. So important. You can't worry so much about one guy based on very, very little information. And sometimes that information, as you know, is a profile. Sometimes it's like a mumble profile, which is like a photo and a couple sentences. Sometimes it's just a few texts. Sometimes it's one really good date. These are things where we get way, way, way ahead of our skis, and it's to our own detriment. One of the central premises in Love You, as you know, my central metaphor is that you are the CEO of your love life. The CEO does not become obsessed with a new intern who came in the office. If anything, the CEO is taking tons of applications. And yes, some interns are more qualified than others and maybe better long-term job prospects, but you can't go all in on someone. Love You, we talk about the concept of the funnel, dating multiple men simultaneously. And if you're talking to 10 guys online and 1 or 2 of them wants to take you out every Friday night, great. But we don't want to give some guy the job until he's actually earned the right. And so we can't singularly focus on someone. The best way to get less obsessed with a guy is when you know you've got other guys courting you simultaneously. Then what happens with this one guy has less meaning. You could withstand that. Imagine having multiple job offers. That feels a lot better than having no job offers and keeping your fingers crossed that your dream job comes through. Next, number 2, realize he's not the last man on earth. Right? And furthermore, a few weeks ago, this guy didn't even exist, and you were a perfectly happy person. We get so hell-bent on this dream, this fantasy, this story that we tell. Right? We could get so caught up with someone in just a few weeks, and that person can make us so unhappy when they don't treat us the way we want to be treated that we go on some downward spiral instead of remembering intellectually. 3 weeks ago, you're a perfectly happy person. This guy didn't even exist. He wasn't even a figment of your imagination. So why give him such an outsized presence? And I love the idea that he's not the last man on earth. It's a key part of Love You, the idea that when you're dating someone, you get fixated on him and you're afraid of letting him go, you forget intellectually what you know to be true is that men are like buses. There's always a new one coming along. I had a Love You client. She's now married in New York City. And I remember before she met him, when we were working together, she went through her ups and downs, which are common in online dating. And I said, I won't say her name here, I said, so how long does it take for you after a good prospect disappoints or ghosts or flakes or whatever, for you to find someone else that you kind of really like? And she said, I don't know, probably about 6 weeks. Right? She'd take a week to mourn her loss, put her profile back up, start up the operation again, and sure enough, sometime in the next couple months, she'd find another guy she liked as much as the last guy. So it's really important to keep that logical component, not just the emotional component, right? Guy's not the last man on earth. Number 3, understand that no man is real until he's your boyfriend. He's just hope, fantasy, projection, and potential. No man is real until he's your boyfriend. And that means you don't commit to someone mentally who hasn't committed to you. I see people going all in on their crush, singularly focused on a guy who may be texting 20 women simultaneously. He may be sleeping with someone. He may be out with someone tonight while you're obsessing about when he's going to text again. Once again, that's not healthy. It's not getting you where you want to go. And so I look at it like we want to see what a guy is made of. How bad does the guy want the job? So if you could just remember that no man is real until he's your boyfriend. He's hope, fantasy, projection, and potential. Perhaps you could simmer it down a little bit and realize that it's like you got one number in a 6-number Powerball. You don't start celebrating your winnings because of one number. A great date, a great connection. You got one number on the lottery ticket. You haven't won anything. It is no time to celebrate. Number 4, it's not how much you liked him on the date. It's about how he follows up after the date. Another thing that people tend to get wrong all the time. We get so excited about that connection, that chemistry, right? How magical it felt, how unusual it is, how rare it is to find someone like that, that we sort of ignore the fact that, oh, it took him 4 days to text me after that date. It's been a week since the date. He hasn't asked me out again. It's been an entire month and I've never seen him more than once a week. That is far more telling than how much I liked him, right? How much I liked him mattered, but it's a larger Venn diagram. There's how much you like him, there's how much he likes you, and then there's how much effort he is making to demonstrate that he wants to be your boyfriend. So not how much you like him on the date, how he follows up after the date that matters. And if he's not following up quickly to make plans, not just text, because anybody could text, but following up quickly to say, when can I see you again? It just means he's busy, he's lazy, he's ambivalent, he's dating someone else, he's just not that into you. It doesn't really matter. But because you want a guy who's into you, this is a knock against him as a future boyfriend candidate. It's not a knock against you that he's not into you. It's a knock against him that he doesn't want the job bad enough. Focus on men who are calling. Don't worry about the ones who don't. That's a great takeaway from today's podcast. Hey, by the way, Valentine's Day is coming up. And if you're single, it's usually a pretty awful holiday. Everyone else is making fancy dinner reservations and buying cards and flowers and gifts. If you ever have a moment where you feel a twinge of envy or regret that you're not part of these festivities, you can do something about it. Click on www.evanmarckatz.com/apply. Apply to love you. And by this time next year, you'll be one of those smug women with the cute Instagram photos of you and your boyfriend at the restaurant. Thousands of Love You graduates have this. Why not you? My name's Marc Katz. Thanks for tuning into the Love You podcast. For more episodes like this on YouTube, click on the subscribe button, ring the bell, choose all to get notified when new content comes out. And if you want a man who makes you feel safe, heard, and understood, go to www.evanmarckatz.com/apply. Watch my free video about how you could fix your broken man picker. When you're done, apply to Love You to join other women in a coaching community where you could finally get the love you deserve. I'll see you there.